They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another one. This is going to be a post-game / free agency video because we do got the Damian Lillard news that we had earlier today. I didn't break because I was saving it for the post-game, but we're definitely going to dissect it and break it down. And like I said, I told you guys yesterday, free agent signings are expected to happen now after the Bradley Beal was the first domino. And sure enough, we got Damian Lillard to the Blazers today. But first, before we get there, man, I want to say prayers up for Darius Bazley, y'all. Still waiting on his update, but didn't look good. His injury looked horrible, and that sucks because Bazley was somebody who had balled out all summer league, and unfortunately, looks like he ruptured something. It could be an ACL, his Achilles, I don't know, but those non-contact injuries are the worst. They're almost guaranteed. What up, Kimmy Goat? What up, Tamika? Daniel? Good to see you guys all, man. Good to see you, my wonderful people. Really quick, did debut the Donkey Kong gameplay over on Primetime TV and on Playback. So if you guys are interested in that, if I got free time, I'll do it tonight. Other than that, we're going to do another YouTube and chill. This one's exclusively for subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe, man. You guys get priority VIP access and all that good stuff to my Playback channel. All right. Tap in, guys. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Again, the Lakers lose to the Celtics, unfortunately, 87-78. But even though we lost Bazley and it was disappointing, man, who, by the way, was having another good game with 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field. You hate to see a heart broken. But my heart rejoices for one person. Came in here on the Lakers, man, last year. Again, last summer league was almost unplayable. But this summer league, Bronny James, 18 points tonight. Okay, very efficiently. 7 for 13 from the field. Also had 5 assists to go with that. And was just tremendous, man. He kept trying to bring us back. He also had a steal. He had 3 rebounds. All of this in 27 minutes, man. Bronny James has had the summer league of his lifetime. All right, proving that not only is he an NBA talent caliber young prospect, but also he's proving that he is maybe one of the biggest second-round steals of the draft of that year, of last year. So, again, very, very proud of him, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about Dame to Portland in a little bit. Was good. Good to see you, JoJo. Good to see you. So, yeah, Bronny James is proven that he is a talent. The Lakers have invested into him. All right, contrary to what the doubters and the haters say, he doesn't belong there. For a second-round pick, he looks very exciting, all right? He has shown growth in his second summer league so far. He built up from a 17-point performance against the Clippers to now 18 versus Boston. His ability to attack the rim, all right, and increase the game's tempo, it suggests he's becoming more and more comfortable offensively, right? And though his shooting efficiency, especially from 3, where he struggled in prior games, remains a work in progress, defensively, his contributions were definitely highlighted throughout summer league so far. But again, he really showed lockdown defense clamps for his earlier game in this summer league versus Cooper Flag. I was very impressed, and we were able to hold Cooper Flag to like 11 points. So, again, I'm very proud of Bronny. What he's done, he's really proven the doubters wrong, and he'll continue to do that. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we do have to talk about, unfortunately, Dalton Connect. This kid is mentally checked out. He's shot 16% from beyond the arc, 3 for 12 from the field, 25% overall. For only 8 points. Absolute travesty. For me, what's bothering me is that he had 30 minutes to show out again tonight. In Summer League, he looks like he needs G League time, fam. While Bronny looks like he might crack the rotation, Dalton is counterproductive. Now, I don't know if he's doing this because mentally he's not there or he already checked out because he got traded from the Lakers. Whatever the case may be, I don't think we as a Laker fan base deserve this, man. Another 17th overall pick going to waste? Come on. Let's say I'll answer some questions. JB says, Bronny has grown a lot. Are you concerned with the turnovers and decision-making? To be honest, tonight there was a lot of hacking they got away with. Welcome to LA, right? Like Boston going to get away with stuff even in Summer League. But no, I'm not too concerned with it. He's very impressive. He's a good decision maker. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up some of his plays because he has been Very impressive, chat. Again, he finished with 18 points. Man, all in the fourth quarter, right? Plus 5 assists and 3 boards and a steal. Right, Coloco was impressive tonight too. He had 6 blocks. Shout out to Coloco, aka 4 Loco. But we gotta let me see if I pull him up here. We gotta show Bronny stuff, man. Bronny is an impressive young up and comer, and here you have it. Let's start with this play right here. Look, he wasn't making this play last season at all. Check this out.
Junior has a
look at this full court behind the back crossover. Quick little cross. Look at this up and under, baby. Beautiful lay with the jelly at the end and the and one. I mean, again, this is an elite move right here. Like full court press, not a problem. And that's what you love to see. A young player working on his craft, fam. That is how you get out of the gutter in the NBA. Next up, check this play out right here. This one's nice too, just as nice. Jay, let me go ahead and mute your here. Check this out, y'all. Right here, he tears a page from his father. But look at the setup. Look at the in and out crossover setup right here on Kenny Lofton, aka the Hungry Hippo. Check it out. Bam, bam. Oh, got him with the first step. Look at this little explosion. This little explosion. Push off the back foot right here. Look at this. You thought he had him cornered? Psych. Look at the push off. Quick burst. Now check this out. Here's where it gets really impressive. Kenny Lofton out here like Pac-Man eating the ghost, all right, with his fat ass. Check this out. Slows down, change of pace. Look at the little push off right here like his father, man. Getting big, finishing through the contact and one, baby. Now that was beautiful right there. That was spectacular. Look, he getting that advice like, yeah, son. Yeah, son. Look at this. Ooh, the explosion right there. Change of pace, slow down, and one. That's very reminiscent of his pops, chat. Very reminiscent of his pops. You love to see it. And again, the kid has a world of potential. I've said Shumpert, if he keeps going, like bursting through, bro, if he keeps going like that, it's going to be even better, bro. Even better. But again, it's still early. It's only summer league. We need to see how this translates to preseason. First training camp, then preseason. And then the regular season. You love to see it, man. Shout out to Bronny putting in the work. All the haters we had to fight off all these time, calling him a Nepo baby and this and this and that. This kid has showed growth, tremendous growth, matter of fact. He has showed tremendous growth. Again, shout out to Darius Baisley. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but Baisley was also impressive, man. He was 3 for 4 from the field. We'll probably win this game with his energy, to be honest with you. But just very impressive, man. The fact that he just dropped 18 points in the fourth quarter, who does that remind you of? Who's had bad games this season, and all of a sudden the fourth quarter comes and he just takes over? LeBron, a.k.a. King James, right? Come on now. Jojo said he looks good. 2 more years and he'll be legit. He's still young, only 20. That's the best part, right? People were mad at us for getting the 55th pick, who was very, very young at the time, 19. Now he's only 20, and he's ahead of the curve. You love to see it. Dalton is very disappointing, bro. I don't know how much trade value he can bring back, right? But, man, he's very disappointing. Right now, it's a mental thing for him. He got to get his shit together. I don't know what it is with him, but he's forcing. He's going one on triple teams. That's not going to fly. That's not going to help. It's not going to work. We need to do better there. D Free, what's up, my brother? He said, I thought he could have had 3 more assists, another 3. Dudes fumble the ball. I think he keeps developing these on-ball skills. His player comps will change. Yes. Now, remember, when he came into the league, I had him a Shumpert. He keeps playing like this, man. We starting to look at different players. Maybe Donovan Mitchell. Maybe we might be looking higher. Who knows? But it's still early. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on him. Right now, let's keep the Shumpert comparison. If he can hit that, then we can look up from there. But his floor is very high, actually, which is something a lot of people didn't expect. I've always liked his defense, his motor, his work ethic, right? I tweeted the other night, I said, Dalton can learn a thing or two about Bronny James' work ethic and the way he's improved his handle and everything. And they say, Dalton Connect's been doing 3 days. He better not dial it back if that's the case. But I think the work ethic is more so comes from the passion, the love of the game, and really doing it because you love it, not doing it because you feel like you have to. Dalton's body language tells me he don't want to be out there. Maybe it's with this team. Maybe he needs a fresh start. But he can really rip out a page from Bronny's work ethic, keeping his head down, not listening to the criticisms, and just playing through everything. And I tweeted that out. It got over 5,000 likes, 750K plus views. So, people agree with intelligent quotes, and that was as intelligent as it gets. It's just that he had a good pedigree. He's not the 55th pick if he doesn't get a cardiac arrest. Yeah, bro. That is unfortunate, but what don't kill you make you stronger, quite literally. I think this kid has been through it all, man, and sometimes we don't talk about it. He went through that, right? My man's had a heart attack, goes through that, comes back fearlessly like a warrior, works his way up, does solid, everywhere with the interviews and everything. Lakers draft him, obviously. He gets tons and tons of criticism. And now look, he's actually the best player on the Lakers Summer League. I don't see how we're overhyping him. We're giving him his credit. Mario, you might not like him, but the fact of the matter, he deserves the credit. Who's been better than him in Summer League? I'll wait, Mario, since you know more. Trey Dalton with another team, no more. He might need a fresh start. I still haven't given up on Dalton's abilities. We've seen it early last season, and maybe it'll come back regular season, but I'm really disappointed in his body language and everything, right? I'm just worried once LeBron retires, the Lakers will let him go as well. That's not going to happen. The Lakers don't operate like that, especially if he's showing potential, right? Now, where the Lakers would let him go is, if he doesn't become a rotational piece, maybe then, right? Just like we did with Giannis's brother, who we had for a little bit, right? So, again, but people act like he's a bum. Look, the thing about Bronny is he looked good in the G League as well last year. So he continues to work his way up. He actually is earning his spot, right? He might not have earned it when he first came in, but he's earning it, guys. And he's earning everybody's respect, including mine. He's been had my respect though since last year, just because I noticed he's a very humble kid who works extremely hard and keeps his head down, right? Well, see, Mr. N, nobody's saying Bronny's going to play like this in the regular season, but if he shows flashes and glimpses of this, he's still young. He's still 20 years old. Nobody's expecting 18 points per game from him in regular season. But if he can give us a cool little 5-7 and some good defense, I'd be very happy. From a 55th pick, come on now. Got to be realistic. Now, you never know what it translates to. We saw what Austin Reeves was able to do, in one training camp. He earned a roster spot and so on and so forth. So there's minutes to be had. Let's be honest. People sitting here acting like Gabe Vincent's minutes are untouchable. They're not. Right? I am realistic. I'm giving him credit. Why won't you guys give him credit? Why you guys got to hate on a young kid? I hope the draft you into the front office, man. I appreciate that, bro. I don't know what you just said right there, but I love it. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Bronny had a 17-point game against Giannis too. I remember that. Very impressed. Regular season. How am I being unrealistic? What's unrealistic about giving him props for what he's doing in Summer League? There's nothing unrealistic about that. I think somebody's got to take off the haterade. He won't get minutes in the regular season. You think so? I think there's minutes to be had. It could be 5, it could be 10, but I think there's minutes to be had. Our bench was very atrocious last year. So if this kid comes in with a higher motor and works harder, he might just end up finding 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see. My prediction is that he will. Unless we make a trade and we get more depth off the bench or we sign some sort of free agent that plays that position, you got Gabe Vincent and then who, right? You're going to need 3 to 4 ball handlers off the bench, right? Just in case of injuries or anything. So, I mean, I get it. A lot of people are not going to like Bronny no matter what he does, unless he averages 20 points a game, then they'll be quiet. But I'm looking at the small things. He's a prospect, all right? He went from everybody saying, he just got drafted because of his pops, to now everybody saying, he's not going to look the same in regular season. What's going to be the next thing they say? If he looks good in regular season, then they're going to be like, they're always going to come up with an excuse. They keep moving the bar back. Here's the question. Does he look like an NBA prospect or not? Because last Summer League, you could argue that he didn't. But this Summer League, you can argue that he does. Not only is he one of the best players on the Lakers Summer League roster, but in the entire Summer League. His IQ stands out to me. His high motor defensively, his ability to jump passing lanes, his good hands, his passing. His high basketball IQ is going to translate. The rest, we'll see. But he's got the athleticism. He's got a high basketball IQ. The confidence continues to translate. He can be a nice little role player. Maybe more. We'll see. Right? Come on, guys. That's not being unrealistic at all. You should get hired by Stephen A. I want to see you talking basketball with him. Oh, my goodness. We would argue all day because one thing about me is I cannot keep my mouth shut when it comes to somebody saying something I don't agree with. No matter if he's my boss, I'm going to have to say something. And that'll get me canned right off the show, just like Max Kellerman, right? Some people don't like to be talked to a certain way. If he says something crazy like the time he said Devin Booker was the next Kobe or something like that, I will go crazy. I would listen. I'm sorry. I would lose my job that day. Now, I'd still try to argue respectfully because I'm a respectful person, unless he disrespect me first, right? But it would get really heated in there for sure. I'm already mad because I don't know if you guys saw my podcast on Primetime TV. Kimmy Goat, if you're so kind to link them, I'd appreciate you. I already addressed the Kobe disrespect, but it keeps happening. Today I saw a clip I hadn't seen about D Wade saying Kobe wasn't even the best player in the 2010 finals. D Wade always been a jealous cunt. All right, he always been jealous of Kobe because he was overshadowed by Kobe. You got to think, if Kobe wasn't in the league or didn't exist at the time, D Wade would have been known as the best shooting guard in the league. Instead, he was Kobe's shadow. And even James Harden, you could argue, he kind of was in the same conversation with D Wade. So I understand where the jealousy is coming from. We all saw the jealousy when you broke Kobe's nose in the All-Star game, fam. We knew you was a hater, but now you just proven it. Also, the podcast when he said he was balling up his fist and turned off the TV when Kobe won his championship in 2010. So anything you say is discredited from your jealousy, D Wade and everybody else. I think the worst thing that could have happened to mainstream media is NBA players starting their podcast and thinking they know more than fans just because we didn't play. We know just as much and sometimes even more because we see it from a third person, from a third perspective where we can analyze the whole thing objectively. While they got friends and favorites and all that. We know Kobe didn't make a lot of friends around that time. But let's not act like these weren't the same players that were sucking up to Kobe Bryant. All right, now they're over here trying to slander him. So shame on you guys. And shout out to Matt Barnes for sticking up for the truth. D3 said, well, he's going to be behind Luka, Austin, Gabe, Goodwin, probably connect also. And that's just all backcourt guys, assuming I didn't forget anybody. It's going to be a long process for him to get minutes. But you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way, D3, because you don't want to throw him in the fire in the limelight, and now he's expected to perform well. This way, he will get garbage minutes and then eventually maybe rotation minutes and then maybe more, and he'll do it gradually without people expecting him to be a savior at any position, at a backup position or anything. So I actually like it. No pressure. Take your time, young buck. Keep developing. What's going on with Al Horford? Well, last I heard, he's still considering retirement. But I am expecting news any day now. Just like after the Bradley Beal thing happened, I told you guys Damian Lillard would and the rest would happen. We're still waiting on Chris Paul too, so for sure. Let's see. Kobe battled the Celtics with the Big Four. They better stop it. LeBron left to Miami because he couldn't beat the Celtics. Let's keep it 100. And I don't want to slander LeBron to elevate Kobe. I don't need to do that, but I will say this, JoJo. And I'm not saying you did that, but I'm just saying I will say this. Kobe Bryant, if you think Kobe Bryant isn't a top 5 player in the history of basketball, then I don't care if you played in the NBA, if you played in the WNBA, if you played in the CBA, whatever, wherever you played, any A, your opinion becomes invalid. Now you're coming from a place of hatred or jealousy, which is Dwayne Wade, T-Mac, everybody who we've seen, Gilbert Arenas. One thing all these guys have in common, they didn't win as much as Kobe, even D Wade. D Wade won 3 championships. Kobe won 5. T-Mac won 0 championships. Gilbert Arenas didn't even know what winning was. He knew all about stats. And even till today, if you watch Gilbert Arenas' podcast, he mainly focuses on stats more than anything. He loves scores. He loves bucket getters. I've seen him put on a Houston Rocket jersey when Kevin Durant went there. He loves bucket getters, but it's like there's a game within the game. Yes, bucket getters are definitely important. But Kobe Bryant did more than get buckets. And one thing I can discredit what D Wade said is because Kobe Bryant in that finals, yes, he struggled offensively, still averaged over 24 points a game, still was getting mad rebounds, clutch game-winning rebounds, and playing elite defense. All right, that's what the best players in the world do when their offense isn't going. Can't say the same for Curry. Can't say the same for a lot of players who won championships, right? Top 3, Kobe 1, Jordan 2, Curry 3. I wouldn't put Curry top 3. He's not a two-way player. For me, well, it's your opinion, so I respect it, JoJo. But for me to be in my top 5, you have to be a two-way player. You have to be able to do defense and offense. I don't want you anywhere near my top 5 if you're not a defender. And Curry is food. We all know one of the most popular shots that was drilled in his face. No Diddy. All right, it was drilled in his face when they were in the finals, right? Yeah, Curry, I can't respect the Curry top 3. I could give you Curry top 10 only because he changed the game from 3-point shooting. But Is that change even a good thing for the game of basketball? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing. We got a lot of shot chuckers now because of Curry, right? There's a lot of shot chuckers. There's a lot of Jordan Pooles out there who don't impact winning because of Curry. So I'm not sure that changed the game for the best. I know Shaq changed the game for the best because he was dominating inside high-efficiency basketball, right? Curry is only one of him. There's only one of him that hits low basketball IQ shots. Only Curry can. Right? He takes some dumb shots, sometimes even half-court shots, but he hits them. That's why he can get away with it. But Jordan Poole can't, right? The next generation better learn to play like somebody else. They better learn to play like Shea with the mid-range to mix it up, right? Instead of that three-point shot chucking, because it's not good for the game. Yes, he changed the game, not for the better. There's a lot of fake three-point shooting teams out there. That's why now you're seeing teams go back to using size again. They're realizing that whole Curry brand of basketball was an illusion. You weren't going to win like that unless you had Curry and Steve Kerr, who caters to him, etc. Right? So, yeah, no, I can't put him as top 3. A Bleacher Report should have people heated. Hey, what up, Strega? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, my goodness. Girl, that crypto's going crazy right now. Shout out to you, though. Appreciate you, and thanks so much for the love, as always. Appreciate the super chat. But I'm telling you guys, man, that Bronny James has potential. And that's not something we were saying too often last year. Let's keep it a stack. He's got potential. If you don't think he has potential, then either you're not paying attention or you just don't like Bronny. But let's be honest, right? Now let's talk about Damian Lillard, all right? The 9-time All-Star Damian Lillard, who finalized a 3-year, $42 million contract to return to Portland, including a player option in 2027, 2028, and a no-trade clause, right? Now, this follows him being waived by Milwaukee due to an Achilles injury. I have mixed emotions and mixed feelings about this guy, Damian Lillard. For one, I'm happy for him. He went back home where he's comfortable. He didn't ask to be traded to Milwaukee. He wanted to go to Miami. He never got his wish. So can I really critique him on that? No. Here's the thing, though. I understand he's rehabbing and he's coming to a close in his career, so he wanted to do it in Portland, where he has his roots. Cool. I'm not mad at that. I'm happy for him, actually. But I am disappointed that there's a lot of players that are okay with just collecting paychecks. That's the modern NBA. So many of these players, D'Angelo Russell's another one. Seems like Dame's going to fall in that category, sadly. Not saying he doesn't want to compete, but he wants to compete from his comfort zone, which is Portland. And they got a nice young team. They're not going anywhere, even with Dame, even with Drew Holiday. So, you know, it's sad. It saddens me to see a player of that caliber not be able to chase rings, but I respect it because he did give it a shot and it didn't work out, right? He went right back to Portland because, you know, sometimes I say the grass ain't greener on the other side. He tried it. He requested a trade to Miami. He got dealt to Milwaukee. I personally wouldn't have gone back to the team that didn't appreciate what I did for them and dealt me to Milwaukee. But to each his own. He's going to rehab. He's got his home there. You know, Adidas, I heard the main Adidas office is there in Portland. So it's very comfortable. And sometimes that's okay. You know, he'll be known in a category with the great players, but not necessarily champions or even close to it, right? He'll be amongst the Steve Francis's and T Max of the world, you know, the lower branch. He's not with the Kobe's and LeBrons and Jordans. He'll never be that, unfortunately. Or even the Currys. I hate to say it, but he won't even be in the Curry conversation. Curry actually won, right? So again, it does disappoint me to know that he'll end his career in Portland where they just want to sell tickets. They're not the Celtics, but they want to sell tickets, right? But at the same time, I'm happy for him because he gets to rehab. He'll be closer to home. You know, it's kind of mixed emotions. So how do you guys feel about Damian Lillard going back to Portland? I wanted to see him with the Lakers or the Knicks or a franchise that actually deserves his services when he gets healthy. But instead, he's going to rot away in Portland. And, you know, he'll have a hometown hero's farewell in his final 3 seasons. But, yeah, I mean, he got paid. He did what he felt was best for his family, so I can't really critique too much. So congratulations to Dame. But at the same time, it's sad that he's going to fall in that lower tier because I've always been a Damian Lillard fan. I thought Lillard was nice. You know, I thought he could have been in Curry conversations. Unfortunately, like if you swap Damian Lillard with Curry, you'd have similar outcomes, I think, because Curry's always been on stacked rosters. Can't say the same for Dame other than the Milwaukee Bucks stint, but that's neither here or there, right? Because the injuries and just the poor fit or whatever. Let's see. Well, the reality is that the vast majority of players don't win championships, and the vast majority of them are never in a situation to do so. For some guys, you wind up settling. Yeah, that's true. But gone are the days when everybody wanted to win a championship. That's what makes me sad. And the Lillard situation is like he kind of dipped his toes in the water a little bit and then said the water's too cold, got out back into the comfort zone. So again, that makes me sad because now Dame won't be known with the Currys. He'll be known with the Bookers, right? And it is a steep fall from, the Currys to the Gilbert Arenases and the Bookers, right? It's like a difference. It's a night and day. One won because he was surrounded by winning, and the other one didn't because he wasn't. And unfortunately, we won't ever mention him in the conversation with the greats. He was a fun player, we'll say that, just like Brandon Roy. And it seems like Portland harvests a bunch of those talented pieces, just like Brandon Roy with the injuries. Now you got Damian Lillard. LaMarcus falls in that category. Who else? Portland is a place where careers go to be mid, And if you want to be mid, great. You're in the wonderful place in Portland. Strega said, I could have been worse for him, Dan. He could have ended up with the Flippers. That's true. I will never hate Damian Lillard. Very humble, hardworking, and borderline superstar, multi-time all-star. But that's about it. 9-time all-star. Again, very decorated, but, he'll be known as one of those players. So it's unfortunate. And I was hoping, I wanted more for him because I liked him, because he's humble, because he waved Paul George goodbye and ended the Thunder. I became a fan of his over the years, and unfortunately, those were his best years. I thought the best was yet to come, but sometimes, like I said, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. He ended up in Milwaukee, so it's like from Portland to Milwaukee is like there's not much of an upgrade there. I'm talking about the cities, the weather, and everything. Might as well stay where you're comfortable, I guess. At least that's the method, right? It is what it is, man. He said, Dame plays for us in 3 years, wins a ring, and retires. I think he's done, bro. I think these final 3 years will be it. It'll be his farewell tour. And I don't think he'll have another check after that. Depends on how he comes back after this injury, but yeah. He said, so funny how the Flipper fans say Beal is younger than Powell, and it's only by a month. Bradley Beal, great player, but he's been a shell of himself. Not going to lie, on paper, the Clippers roster looks good, but it's looked good before. We do not fear the Clippers. There's real teams in the West, the real contenders. Thunder. I hate to say it, but the Denver Nuggets, and especially the Houston Rockets, who you could argue had the best offseason this year. So the West is going to be tough, man. Going to be extremely tough. Dan, how do you think Ayton and Rui will mesh? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because actually I wanted to talk about, you guys are always ahead of me, man. I got little subjects here brewing and stuff, and you guys always jump the gun. Great minds think alike. So I want to talk about our entire roster and how it fits, right? I have it. Let me pull it up. Hit the like button for your boy one time. This video is brought to you by Underdog Chat, so make sure you guys tap in. Got you guys covered year-round. All right. Here is the projected roster right now as we stand. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait, do we have 16? I think we might have 16 here. But regardless. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we have 15 actually. Sorry. I was counting Dixon. We have to cut, and this is very important. All right. And I like Shake Milton, but we got to cut him before the 20th of July. Otherwise, we don't have another roster spot. There's always a chance that Rob Pelinka could go into the season with the 15th spot open, right? I doubt it because under the CBA, in order to have 3 two-way contracts, you have to have all 15 spots taken. But as of right now, this is our roster, right? We haven't done anything. Apparently, we tried to get Bradley Beal. We tried to get, we struck out there. We tried to get Damian Lillard. We struck out there. How many more times will we strike out, fam? And again, this is not looking good, right, for Rob Pelinka. He's got to prove himself eventually. So there you have the roster, okay? Now, where do you guys see the biggest weakness? Where do you guys see the biggest weakness? I'll tell you, it ain't at the center position no more, even though that backup starts getting weaker after the starter. The power forward position is okay with LeBron and Vanderbilt and Maxi Kleber. But it's the small forward position because if Rui gets hurt, you got LaRavia. Then you get Thero, right? You got the Mr. Hero over here that has to step up. The shooting guard position is a little questionable too because I prefer Austin off the bench. But then you got Goodwin, you got Connect, very questionable there. And the point guard, Still question marks about that, unless Bronny can step up and become a backup lead guard. But Vincent, I don't trust. So after the center and the power forward position, you look at the small forward. We could definitely try to get another 3-and-D. You look at the shooting guard position, we can get another either a starter or a backup, whether that's, like I already said, Marcus Smart. That would be a very smart decision for the Lakers. And then the point guard position, we got Luka, which we started off strong, but then it's a huge drop-off from Luka to Gabe Vincent. Honestly, if we had made a trade to offload a couple of pieces like Maxi Kleber, some of the expiring contracts, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, etc., I would have looked at, dare I say, Ben Simmons, but Chris Paul would have been ideal to man the point guard position to back up Luka. Chris Paul, after Luka, now your point guard position would be very strong. So this is our projected depth right now, the Lakers right now as we stand. And as you can see, we have a lot to be desired because look at the bench right now. Gabe Vincent, Jordan Goodwin, LaRavia, Vanderbilt, and Hayes. The only proven player there is Vanderbilt. And that's if he even gets play time, right? You see what I mean? So that bench is looking extremely frail, especially for the Western Conference. What would you guys rate our bench right now? What would you guys rate our bench right now? We don't have the update on Baisley yet. If I get it, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, very saddened. It doesn't look good for Baisley, guys. I'm very saddened by the Baisley injury. I hope he's okay. We don't have an update yet. He might have torn something. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see. Rui about to get benched. I know we campaign for Austin, but Luka is really a forward on defense. Could get away with another guard starting, and I'm sure JJ thinks the same way. We'll see. I like Luka as a point guard. He's a bully. I would love to see Austin off the bench and I'd maybe even start Goodwin for better defense. But Rui is our best small forward we have right now. You know? Let's see. Probably the center. I actually like our starting center a lot more now. And Jamison is on a two-way contract, so he shouldn't even – the two-way contract shouldn't even appear on this chart, but it will. It does, right? So as you can see here, it's just not – it's not a sexy bench. The starters are okay. I love Luka, obviously LeBron with DeAndre Ayton. Rui's okay. Austin's okay, right? Austin, I just think super sub 6-man would be a lot better than what we're looking at right now, right? But there is a lot of question marks. We don't know what Vincent is going to look like. We don't know what Goodwin is going to look like in the second year. LaRavia is even going to be able to contribute off the bench. How many minutes is he going to get? Vanderbilt, can he finally stay healthy? Jackson Hayes, can he stop beating on women? Like, come on. A lot of question marks about the second unit, you know, and that bothers me, guys. It does, and I feel like we still have a ways to go. Let's see, comments, questions, concerns. He said, we low-key have one of the least athletic playoff teams in the league. Facts, not just the starters in general. That's true. And athleticism was supposed to be a premium. This is why we drafted Thero. This, you know what I'm saying? We supposedly we got Jake LaRavia, who's sneaky athletic, but we're still lacking some athleticism. I was hoping for Baisley, especially if we made a trade. But right now, I think the number one priority for the Lakers this offseason now shifts over to Luka Doncic. And can we re-sign him for a long-term extension, right? One-way players. The 6-man is hard to give 30 minutes to. Becomes a 40-minute game for the bench guys. Luka is a point guard on offense, just not on defense. That's why 2020 had LeBron at point and Bradley and KCP starting. That's true. That's true, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. But for now, we don't have enough guards to start. God forbid we have a Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves backcourt. I'm going to swing on somebody, bro. I'm swinging. If that's the backcourt that we're going to start with next season, I'm going to be furious at JJ Pathetic. Now I'll start calling him what my boy Diehard always calls him, JJ Pathetic. I don't call him that. I'm giving him grace. Thought he had a shitty playoffs, but a good regular season. So, but, man, if he comes out with Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves, that's food on defense, right? Can I have that? I'd rather have a 6'10 Luka, a 6'7", 6'8 Luka right there with a 7-foot wingspan at the point guard, guarding guards instead. Milton getting cut. Dixon wasn't actually signed to a two-way. Well, I mean, again, we still have flexibility if we can cut Milton, who I'm also expecting to get cut here. But do you think we're going to go into the next training camp with a 15 roster spot open, or are we going to give that to somebody? Still plenty of good free agents out there. Brogdon is still out there. He could help us tremendously. Chris Paul still out there. Obviously, Horford, a primary target. We still have options out there. So TBD on that, man. He said, hey, Dan, the Clippers are a top 3 team in the West. If they have Beal doing good, I doubt it. Top 3 teams in the West right now, off the rip, are the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Nuggets. The Lakers, if we can stay healthy, will be a top 4. But those are the top teams. Clippers, they're good. They're lucky to be a top 6 seed. The West is tough. The West is tough. They got to stay healthy, too. Remember that. They old as shit. That's the retirement home, Clippers. Gabe starting with Luka and AR trust, bro. If Gabe starts with AR and Luka, I'm fighting you, D-Free. I'm fighting with you, bro, because you called this shit. I'm going to be mad. Nah, but real talk, yeah, we can't have that, bro. That's a fireable offense. No more midgets in the starting lineup, please. Nobody under 6'3" should be in the starting lineup. That's the new rule I have. And honestly, we should get rid of all of them off the roster. Josh Okogie would be decent. I wouldn't mind him. I would not mind Josh Okogie. All right. The fifth, Okogie. All right, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's bring him in. Dan, do you think Rob stands pat? No. It's going to be a move, whether it's a minor or a medium-sized move. I'm not expecting major anymore, but I've been surprised before. I'm expecting a move for sure. Very strong chance we leave that 15 spot open. I'd be disappointed if that happens, but yes, Rob's been known to do that, and I hope it doesn't happen because there's plenty of talent out there. Like, what are you doing? Yes, we got Ayton, but then what? Then what, right? A Davion Mitchell type player, I like that. I like that. A defensive point guard to come off the bench. A spark plug. Absolute energy bug. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind a player like that, but there's not too many of those available. We do have Brogdon, who fits the description. Melton, who I keep hearing is going to end up with Golden State. But, yeah. We need a wing guard for the Team Lake Show, Dan, and I hope we get Al Horford in free agency. That would be huge. That would change my perspective about the entire free agency, for sure. That would change my perspective on the entire free agency. Bro, if he stands pat again, this might be his final offseason. The pitchforks might come out, but I think the Lakers will get rid of him. He's injury prone, but he's not that old. I still bring him on. Same thing for Marcus Smart. Sometimes you have to swing, and sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, but it's worth, it's worth it. Nah, Bronny's the exception because he's got potential. He's 20. I'm talking about them oldies. I'm talking about them 30-year-olds, them Gabe Vincents, That's what I'm talking about. He disappointed me. Bronny, I'm willing to give him a shot past this season, maybe even next. He said, we don't, Alex, but we have good prospect taking one. For sure. I mean, that Bron to the Mavs news is going to break the internet. It's not going to happen. If you heard it before Shams and all of them, it's probably not going to happen. Usually when we get a big deal like that, we don't hear it till it happens. If it does happen, I'll stand corrected. But since we already heard it, it's likely not to happen. Plus, I think the Mavs are very excited with their new toy, right? The first overall pick. They sat them after 2 games. They're very excited about that. They got AD coming back, obviously. They just signed D'Lo. They had a decent offseason. So I think the Mavs are excited for their future, right? Mario, I'd love to have Marcus Smart. I've been talking about him for the last couple of years since he was in Memphis. I didn't think he fit them, and I was right about that. So, I would have loved the trade, but he's been unhealthy. But again, if he gets bought out, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Washington currently has like 18 people in their contract. They might have to either make a trade or 17 or something like that. Last I checked, they might have done something already, but they don't free up a spot. They might let Marcus Smart go via buyout. We'll see. There's been a lot of buyouts, so Rob Pelinka cannot strike out on all of them, or he deserves to get canned. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up for your boy, man. I want to say a major shout out to the sponsorship, Underdog, man. Shout out to Underdog. Promo code DTLF, man. Get in on the action. We got an amazing MMA event coming up, man. Max Holloway, my favorite fighter currently in the UFC, is going to fight against Dustin Poirier. Perfect to get in on the action with Underdog, all right? Again, with promo code DTLF, you get 50% match on anything you deposit, all the way up to $1,000 plus a free entry. And then not only that, but we also have prize picks, all right? Same thing, except here you get $50 in play credit, all right, with your first $5 to $10 deposit, all right? So tap in, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. Shout out to Kimmy Goat for holding it down. My night's not over, all right? I'm definitely going to stream the brand new Donkey Kong. This game is badass. We played it earlier. You guys are into that? Follow me over on Primetime TV or on Playback. You get to watch. Also, going to have a YouTube and Chill segment over there for subscribers only. So all my subscribers, I hope to see you guys right after this stream, all right? Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Go Lakers, man. Hopefully we do something. And if anything breaks, you know where to find me. Turn up that post-noti bell. Subscribe if you already have it and all that good stuff, all right? Tap in with the sponsorship, guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.